Jeff with the Valhalla Ventures, REITGuideService.com, REIGUIDESERVICE.com. Happy New Year's. Today's New Year's. It is a new year. I am driving to Home Depot yet again. Driving a different way than I normally drive. That's what I like to do. I've said it before. I'll say it again. I enjoy taking different routes to the same locations. I have a bad habit of driving with my knee. I look at the road, I pay attention. I don't really text while I drive or any of that kind of stuff. I used to a long time ago, I guess, but I don't know. I don't really have anything that important that I need to text about while I'm driving. And I don't have to drive as much as I used to also, which makes it more convenient. Anyway, but I still have a bad habit of driving with my knee. I actually have worn out a spot right where the steering wheel hits on almost every pair of jeans that I own from back in the day when I was driving a lot. Because I guess the steering wheel on my truck not a rough texture to it. I don't know. Anyway, doesn't matter. Happy New Year. Drive safe. I'm gonna try to drive more consciously. Big birds on the side. Those are cranes, I believe. Last video I uploaded had ducks. Now we have cranes, but those are full-grown cranes, so they are pretty, but they have no clickbait value because they're not cute. They're not cute. This house over here looks like someone finally moved into it. That one's been worked on. You can see it right there, I guess. I don't know. It's been being worked on forever, like years. I think it was supposed to be just like a remodel or something, but I don't know what happened. It took forever. Years. It's a very interesting area, but that's what the country's like. I think you might be able to see it again here in a second. I'm not messing with my camera or trying to help you guys see the thing and put myself in danger, but it's right there. Anyway. That's stupid. I should edit that out. This is an interesting area. I like living in areas where not everything is cookie cutter. You know, it gets kind of boring as an investor or, you know, in the real estate business. Probably in any business. You know, I like building stuff. I don't like building the exact same stuff over and over again. So, I mean, even like hobby-wise, right? Like I'll build a couple chairs or some really ugly jewelry or something like that, but I never really want to just build it again and again and again and again. You know, I would have worked in a factory stamping license plates or something if that's what I was into. So I like driving different ways to get to Home Depot. You get to see new stuff. Get a question why people are doing what it is that they're doing with their property. That property right there is cleaned up very nicely since last time I was out here. And you know what's interesting is that there's an expression. That's a big old house over there. There's an expression that I don't remember. Like maybe it's not even an expression, but there's an expression that I think is an expression that I thought I heard at some point. This is an awful video. It says something to the effect of, you know, if you drive the same road over and over and over and over again, you begin to not notice things. So like construction goes up, buildings are built, you know, things are done, that kind of stuff. You don't really tend to notice as much because you go by it every single solitary day. And because you're going by it every single solitary day, you just become accustomed to what it is. But if you go, you know, a couple months without going down that road and then driving down it again, you'll see a bunch of stuff and notice a ton of stuff that's changed. And that kind of stuff is constantly changing. You just don't notice. I guess that's why it's not a saying, because it's way too long. Like, expressions are supposed to be short. Man, there's some trash stuff around here. It's weird, you know, being out in the country is very much you have to know. Check out this track is insane. It's got quite the angle to it. And there's the sky. you have to understand when you're investing in the country what it is that you're investing in, right? Like, it's land. You're investing in someone's opportunity to own a bigger piece of land, so it's a little different than like in a big neighborhood or community where it's like keeping up with the Joneses and all your neighbors have to be perfect. I mean, some people are like that for sure, but there's houses that, I mean, are crazy expensive around here. I mean, millions of dollars easily, with tons of land. And then you will have what's clearly a trailer home that's been there since the 70s, and someone's still living in it. And so certain areas, if you are used to doing investments in the country, will, start. That place is actually for sale, so on my way back, I'm going to stop and go check that out. But in certain areas, you can kind of drive through and see what's happening, but you gotta go through every couple of weeks, every couple of months, and really check the progress of what an area is doing. Is it getting worse? Is it getting better? Is it stagnant? Are people investing in their homes? Is there lots being cleared for new stuff to be built? What's happening? And if you pay attention to that kind of stuff, you can really understand where you should be putting your money. Because obviously, even when you're in the country, when you're out in the county, when you're out in the middle of nowhere, there's going to be certain areas that are more desirable. Like, look right here, Shadow Pond subdivision. That's a subdivision going in right there. I had no idea. Never seen that shit before. I'm going to look that up. I'm interested. They got a contractor's trailer right over here. Interesting. That's cool. Yep. Shadow Pond's big old construction trailer. You're not going to be able to see it. But driving around and also getting to communicate and know about things early. Like, okay, there's a community going. There's just a sign, but now I can look into it and see how much are these properties going to sell for? How big a lot are they going to have? What's that going to do as far as comparables to stuff around it? Is it going to affect it at all? Because in a lot of cases, it doesn't affect it at all. Because why does it matter what some brand new house is selling for in a neighborhood? How does that compare to a house that's on 5 acres or 2 acres? How does that compare to a mobile home? How does that compare to a multi-million-dollar home? Like, you really just got to know a lot about investing in the country. But it's really not that much work. There's another property I'm coming up on for sale. It's 2. I'll have to drive back this way for sure. Because that's two properties for sale. Let's see, how many acres is this? Doesn't say. I hate when they have big properties and don't have any information. Like, just say how many acres is on it. But whatever. It's a barn right here that I've taken a lot of pictures in front of. It's a good looking barn. I don't even remember what I was going to start out with. Oh, originally I was going to talk about passive investing versus active investing. Clearly what I'm doing is active investing. I'm actively looking for properties. I'm actively purchasing properties. I'm actively partnering on properties. That's very much now passive investing, I think, is kind of, there's different degrees of it, right? Like, if you just drive around and look for properties, find a good deal, sick your real estate agent on it, and your real estate agent puts it all together for you, and you already have a lender and a contractor and everything, and all you do is point, that's still an active investor. Is it very passive? Is it set up in such a way that you have very little work to do? Yeah, absolutely, and that's cool. That's a degree of passive investing. But to me, there's very few things that are completely passive. To me, I think that it's a misnomer and kind of a happy little thought, to think about being completely passive in your investing and just sitting on a beach and letting the checks roll in, because you can certainly do that. But in my opinion, you still have to be active in the sense of checking out what your investments are doing. So if you own a bunch of rental properties, or a strip center or whatever, if you're not doing the management, well, then someone's doing the management for you. That's cool. That's a very good level of passive investing. But now you should probably check to make sure that they're maximizing your investment. Now, if you have another person that also does that makes sure, you could have someone that oversees your property manager to make sure that your investments are getting the maximum. But you should check and read what they send you, reports, information, updates, that kind of stuff. I should have probably plugged this phone in. Oh, look, they're updating that gas station. This gas station right here has been horrifically ugly forever. It was definitely not the kind of thing that you wanted to walk into late at night. It looks way better now. Another Dollar General. Dollar Generals are everywhere. They're the plight of humanity. I understand that they offer certain resources in areas where those resources may not otherwise be available, but a lot of times they destroy communities in much bigger ways in much smaller places than Walmart ever could even dream of. I digress. Good thing to invest in, I guess. I don't know. So you can be an active investor or you can be a passive investor. And it's just really a matter of degrees, because the reality is you always are going to have to be somewhat active in knowing what's happening. But you should always, in my opinion, again, strive for being more and more passive, because that means you're having to build your team. That means you're having to rely on other people, but it takes some of that pressure away from you and your responsibilities and eases up your time. Because sure, you might be able to save 10% if you don't hire a project manager, but then you have to do all that work. That's a lot of time that you're giving up. So be an active investor and actively knowing what it is that's going on with your deals. Whether it's you're invested in gold, you're invested, whatever you're invested in. I forgot about this. I knew this one was here. This is a big development project going on across from the college, and I did know about that, but I forgot. So now I've remembered. I'm gonna cut this short, but it's too late for that. Be active in knowing what it is that you want, what you're striving for, verifying and checking, even if you're doing it to yourself, and even more importantly when you're doing it to yourself, because I think that people tend to allow excuses on their own behalf. Like you will allow time to lapse and things to happen that you would not allow to happen if you were paying someone to take care of those things. So because you're not paying someone to take care of the project management, maybe the project management doesn't go quite as good as it would go if you were paying someone, because you'd be a lot more diligent and stringent on timelines and budgets. And so a lot of times people will hire someone as a project manager thinking, I'm losing 10%. But in reality, not only are they typically going, if they're good, I wouldn't personally put out my services unless I knew I could save someone money. I don't know exactly what I'm looking for here, so I'm going to park before I keep driving around looking for stupid stuff. I'll just look up the address here in a second. Now I got to just find a parking spot. But alternatively, a lot of times when you hire a project manager, not only are they going to save you the money that they're saving you just from their experience and so on and so forth, but they're going to stay a lot more on budget with you than you are. You're going to be more of the type that when you're at the store, you're going to go like, oh, well, that's only $5 more. Oh, that's only $10 more. Oh, that's only... Whereas a project manager isn't going to allow trades to do that kind of thing. They're going to stay on budget because they have a budget. And that's something to keep in mind, is making sure that if you don't hire someone like a project manager, if you don't hire someone to take care of some of these things, that you're at least keeping yourself in check as stringently as you would if it was someone that you did hire. Because at the end of the day, if you're saving money, you're supposed to be saving money. Now, of course, you can go off and do whatever you want and spend that 10% and blow it and put it into the property. I think it's a great idea, personally, as long as it's on items that you're going to get a return on investment. If not, $2 or $1 on the dollar, at least get back your money, right? So if you can, that's a whole nother topic. Basically, I think that if you put, the more money you put into a property, sometimes it might be, okay, well, if I put 10 grand in, I'm only going to get 10 grand out, but I can sell it, in 2 weeks. Well, then do that, because you have no holding costs. You're saving all the holding costs, and sure, you're not making a ton of money off that 10,000, but if it insures it, there's some more details than that. So you'll have to wait for another video for that one. But anyway, aggressive investor when you start, aggressively trying to learn things, know things. Find something that you really, really enjoy learning about. Make that your circle of expertise. Once you're an expert, slowly expand that circle of knowledge until you can become more of a passive investor in those things that you're an expert in, so that you can dedicate the time to expanding that circle of knowledge by being more active in learning the new aspects to become more passive in those aspects, so that you grow and grow and grow. But always going back to check, because success is not a ladder, it is a circle. You have to continue to do the same things that you did to make you successful, to continue to be successful. Be blessed, bless others. Have a great day. Happy New Year's. It's 2021. God, I hope it's better than 2020, but it's going to be, because positive mental attitude, fortitude. Use your kidneys. It'll be fine. All right, I got to go find this place I'm looking for. Have a good one. You got any questions for me? Always reach out and find me at the Valhalla Ventures, REIGuideService.com, TheValhallaVentures.com, REIGuideService.com, REIGuideService.com. That was horrible. That was not spelled right. Anyway, you know what it is. Talk to you soon. Like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. My kids tell me I need to say all that stuff. All right. Have a good one. It's going to be a great year.